Good morning, everybody. Hope you're well and welcome back to Behind the Ramble. So, I wasn't going to do a morning brew this morning. I surprisingly, and thank you to Big T for making me feel like these streams are valued, got a request to say, can we have a morning brew this morning, Jim? I wasn't planning on doing it. I had a meeting with John Asquith, my business coach from Action Coach Sheffield, who I cannot recommend enough for anybody that's involved in business. I know that's not everybody, so I won't bang on about it. But honestly, I would not be where I am without that man and a lot of other people as well. And it's sort of half inspired me to come on this morning because, as you all know, I suffer with my mental health and I am very up and down. But today I'm up and I'm feeling quite positive. And I always come out of my meetings with John feeling positive. But we're in a good place anyway because I'm going to update you a little bit on what's to come on this channel, Behind the Ramble, because there's a couple of bits that I've been planning for a little while. And now thank you to everybody that's subscribed because it's monetized and that means we can continue to grow the business as we'd like. So you might get the odd advert and things like that. On adverts as well, we will continue, as we've always said, to keep it at a moderate level for ads on YouTube. That is, they plant where they put them in the most appropriate places they feel they go because it's automated. But you can set it to ridiculous, moderate, or hardly any. We are a business. This is my job. I need to have some ads on. So mine are always set to moderate. But we do then get sponsors on board who we try and thank them for their support by putting them on screen and talking about them when they're and giving them a dedicated show. We have just signed a 3-month deal with OK Jersey. So we will be featuring OK Jersey on the channel a lot more over the next 3 months. So apologies if people get fed up with me playing a pre-populated advert, but again, I appreciate the support. And as everybody knows, Mrs. Ramble's started work for us on a temporary basis at the moment, and we'll see how it goes. But already it has lifted a significant load off my shoulders. I didn't really know how much I'd be able to sort of delegate, if you like. And it's my wife, so I have to be very careful. She's great, to be honest. I take the mick, but it's there's a lot of things like I spoke about this last time on Behind the Ramble, but we're ready to send out the badges to the Platinum Ramblers and the Ramblers, who are 2 separate tiers. But we're ready to send those badges out. We're just waiting on something coming to make that delivery a little bit more polished. So if you are one of those Ramblers or Platinum Ramblers that wants your badge early, no problem. I can send it out today if need be because Mrs. Ramble has sorted all that out. But we are just waiting on what I feel like we're leveling up again. And obviously, if you knew how to level up all the time, you'd go straight to the top level. But we always seem to be able, in my opinion, and this is, I think we're always improving a little bit. So I just wanted to come on and sort of, it's all right me coming on and letting you know when I'm struggling. And I don't always want to be the other extreme of it and come on and say thank you, because I think you all know how much you're appreciated. But I cannot tell you enough. And I've said this previously, and I'll say it again. I am building a business here out of something I absolutely love. And that's essentially how I have to look at it. It is a business. I've got a business coach who is helping me upgrade things behind the scenes and get everything, all my ducks in a row, if you like. And Mrs. Ramble's here to take a lot of that with me as well. So it feels like a joint effort. I wouldn't be able to do any of it without the patrons that support the channel, without the sponsors that support the channel. I can't. We're not in this position. We're not able to provide the amount of content or whatever it is that we do and put out the shows and involve people like we do if it isn't for those of you that go the extra mile and become Ramblers or Platinum Ramblers. So I cannot thank you enough. And you are a big part of why we do what we do. But I just wanted to mention again that there are social media gets a lot of bad press, and rightly so a lot of the time. One of the worst platforms for it is X, I would probably say. That doesn't mean everybody on X is an idiot. It's just because it's not regulated, there's a lot of abuse that goes on there. And it sort of put me off using the platform. So we go on there and we post. And now, again, as an extension of how great the people are that are involved in the channel now, Bald and Brilliant Lee and Batman Lou are now involved, as well as myself, in the Blades Ramble X page and the Ramble FC X page. So they are making those more frequent postings because we're sharing the loadout between us. And that just shows what a great community we've got. They just want to be involved. They want to help. They obviously come on screen and do their bit as well, which they're not. They've no. They're not tied into doing or anything like that. They do it because they enjoy it, and I want them to feel. The minute they stop enjoying it, I would want them to stop anyway. And they're just two of the people that I could mention, because there's loads of people that help us behind the scenes. So there is the negatives of X, but there are also so many. I cannot tell you the amount of good people I have met on this ride, this wild ride. I'm not going to say journey because it's a bit twee in it, but on this wild ride of building the Blades Ramble and later Ramble FC and Behind the Ramble, but the core of it has been the Blades Ramble. And the community that we have built, I will never stop banging on about, because unless you're in it, you don't know how good it is. And that's not a sales job. That's because people are in all different situations. But I can't speak highly enough of the people in that community, and I thank them for everything that they do. So I'm in a good place. And it's largely down to everybody involved with the channel, and that's people, again, in our community, but also people that support us, like John Asquith, who's, again, sorting me out behind the scenes. What's coming up on this channel, I've got two main ideas, and shout out to Rich Carrington, who put me in touch with Ryan Dack from a local a business, a gym and fitness center, if you like, S20 Health and Fitness, one of the best gyms around, to be honest, near mine in Sheffield. And we've agreed like a mutually beneficial deal to help him advertise him and also get some good content for Behind the Ramble. And he's going to become my PT, is Ryan, who's a really successful personal trainer. I'm not doing it the sales job that it deserves, but we're going to track my fitness. I've got to say journey with that, and I suppose, but for ages I've needed accountability with my health, my physical health as well as my mental health, and I've sort of ended up like, I feel like I've been backed into a corner a little bit because I couldn't say no, but I do need to do something about it. So I am really excited to get started with Ryan, and that'll be a series starting here very shortly. So keep your eyes peeled to a PT. We're going to have a videographer who's going to film it all properly and stuff like that. So it will be a proper series that doesn't go away. There's accountability on both sides, and that's going to be at least the next 12 weeks. So I'm not sure when the videos will come out, but yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited is a lie. I'm apprehensive to start that, but we need to start it. And again, it's just, I have the same motivational issues, certainly with fitness, as a lot of you, I'm sure, do as well. But yeah, we'll wait and see where that goes. It'll be interesting to say the least. The other thing that I wanted to do that I've had in mind for a little while, you know that we are very proactive and very, it means a lot to me to openly discuss mental health struggles and things like that. And if that's not for everybody, then I can only apologize, because I think it's really important to discuss. So what I've thought about is a cross-channel series, and I'm going to, the working title at the minute is The Other Side. So what I'd like to do is get people on and discuss the other side to them, really. And I'm talking more about your ex-footballers and celebrities that you may or may not know that have had a little bit of fame and things like that. And so if they are related to Sheffield United, there will be the episode would go out on the Blades Ramble, the other side of Paddy Kenny, for example. If it's an ex-footballer that's not related to Sheffield United, it might go on Ramble FC, or it would lie on Ramble FC. So that might be the other side of Chris Kamara. I mean, I know he's played for Blades, and it may end up on Blades Ramble, so that's a bad example. But, you know, the other side of Matt Letizia. And then if it's not football related at all, it'll sit here on Behind the Ramble. And that is my idea. So it's like I've already got a couple of people that I've spoken to that are interested. So, like, for example, whether this actually comes off or not is we have to wait and see, because these people are busy and committed, but it might be like the other side of Jake Quickenden, that sort of thing. So that's just two of the ideas that I've got for this platform. And I feel very blessed this morning to come on and sort of say that, we can have these ideas and that we can push things forward. And that were it, really. I didn't want to, as I said, I didn't really have much of a plan this morning. I never do I? But usually we've got something to talk about. I'm live tonight with Lee on Countdown to Kickoff. I brought that news yesterday on Ramble FC. You're hearing it here on Behind the Ramble. If they're not watching, if Blades Ramble people aren't watching these two channels, they won't know that Lee's going to be my new co-host on Countdown to Kickoff. So looking forward to that. That's going to be really good. And I didn't realise, again, because we're so busy and there's so much content flying out, I'd forgotten altogether, just in terms of a timing wise, what time I'd set up for Jordan Gaz to go with Leeds game. And they're going on at 7:30. So me and Lee are going to have to be quick and do an half-hour job, be off in time for us to chuck to the boys who are on Ramble FC. And it's Jordan Motson and the man in black, Gaz Dunn, doing Leeds versus Nottingham Forest in a huge, huge clash. So it's exciting times. And I just want to say thank you very much for your commitment and you joining us on this crazy ride. I'll get to your comments now. Thom, good morning, Thom. Morning, pal. Hope you and the family are doing well. Yes, mate. Thom's partner works for the Sheffield United Community Foundation. We had a great day there, myself and Lee, who came and helped me with some filming. I'm just in the process of downloading that footage, actually, and that will be going on Behind the Ramble very shortly in terms of the great day that we had with the Community Foundation. They do incredible work that I had no idea about, and I'm hoping to bring that to you as well. Yes, it's Sheffield United related, but it's also what's going on behind the Ramble, and we'll link it to the Blades Ramble as well so it gets seen by more people. So, yeah, shout out to you and Eva, mate. Hope you're doing well. Mark Meldrew, top man. Morning, pal. Hope you're well on this rainy Friday morning. Got my brew? Me too, pal. Me too. I'm looking forward to loved the show last night and looking forward to Jordan Gaz watching Leeds Forest tonight. Up the Blades, up the Ramble, up the Mark by Meldrew. So again, Mr. Meldrew is one of our Platinum Ramblers, and as part of that, he's I don't know whether he put forward the idea or I did, but he gives his ratings on each player's performance after the games, and it's just great. Last night, myself and Lee, just the two of us last night on Football Therapy. There's normally up to 4 of us with Jordan Motson and Man Mountain that join in as well. We then have a Platinum Rambler on, if their tech works all right. Morning, Dave Hammond. Oh, you good, pal. Yes, and so you'd think with less of us on, we wouldn't go as long. We normally go just over an hour. We went nearly 2 hours last night, mainly. And it were great. Really enjoyed it. We were ranking every team's in the Championship's January transfer window. If you've not already, go and give that a watch for us if it's something you're interested in. Statman Jack says, morning, mate. How kind of the EFL to give a -6 to Leicester to boost the chances of history book relegation on the 22nd. What a lovely day. Up the Blades, up the Ramble. Yes, absolutely right, pal. Jack says, morning, pal. Been struggling myself recently with mental health. Went to Andy's Man Club and was really beneficial for me. Brilliant. I hear nothing but good things about Andy's Man Club. It is it's a horses for courses thing, I think, with that sort of thing. It certainly is good to talk, but only if you feel comfortable in your surroundings, really. That is the cautious message that I would put out. I think if you sometimes feel forced to sort of relay how you're feeling, it can make you feel even more vulnerable and you go back and have even more insecurities about it. I think you've got to be in the right headspace to share. I'm delighted that you've been, Jack, and it's worked for you, pal. And I would advise anybody else who's in 2 minds about it to do that. But some people may feel, no, there's no way I can share. I think the most important thing with mental health, and this is just my opinion, I'm not an expert, but the way I've found coping myself is self-diagnosis. knowing yourself when you're struggling and being able to identify it. That was the whole birth of the Blades Ramble, was because I identified that if I didn't have a focus in my life, I was gonna. Well, it's not worth mentioning on stream, but I was in a really, really dark place, and I think people can put two and two together. I'd lost my mum, as a lot of people know, and this isn't a stream about that, even though there's a picture of her here, and I look at her every day and I talk to her. But if I didn't have a focus, I would have. I don't know. Well, I might not be talking to you right now. There, I had diagnosed myself being, and I resisted talking to people for 3 years about it. Not, I don't mean close friends and family. I'd mentioned little bits, and they knew me well enough to know something were wrong anyway. But in terms of going into an open space, I had counselling because I'd had a nervous breakdown. Um, but it depends what you're comfortable in. I'm delighted for Jack that you've done that, and thank you for sharing it as well. I think it makes these spaces important to know that you feel comfortable sharing that, and that's why I'll continue to talk about it, whether people like it or not. If you don't and you put off by it, then I never like to push anybody away. But this won't be the platform for you, because I'm not ashamed of it. I think it's really important we carry on talking about it. Big T says, good morning. It's all mental health week this week. Remember, it's okay not to be okay, and keep smiling. Big T, absolute legend. Morning, Brew, says Matthew. Morning, mate. Scott says, morning, Jim, from Soggy, Sheffield. I'm off to the Britain's Strongest Man show tomorrow. Perhaps I'll see you there competing next year. He's not a miracle worker, pal. He's a PT. He's not a miracle worker. Morning, Jimmy. Like and subscribe, says Dave Morwood. Absolute legend. How are you, mate? Dave Morwood just become a great granddad. Absolutely brilliant. Mark Meldrew says, it's a great community, this. Made friends for life from this channel. Without you doing this, Jim, I wouldn't have those connections, pal. Long may it continue. Thank you, mate. It's I don't take credit for stuff like this, because it's not me that's done it. It's the people that have done it. All I've done is given the platform for people to do it. And I'm proud of that, but I can't take full credit for how great the people are in the community. So that's on them as people, and I appreciate every single one of you. Morning, Jimmy, says Dino. Good morning, my mate. Hope you're good. And Scott says, morning, pal. Hope you're good. Got my brew. Loving this Jimbo. Content is always just first class, and this sounds great. Keep up the brilliant work, pal. What a community we have. Up the Blades, up all the rambles. Yes, mate. And hope you're cracking on with your content journey as well. I know you're doing some grassroots stuff on Spotify, aren't you? And let me know how that's going, pal. John Froggatt says, evening, Jimmy. Was just about to go to bed and saw you were on. Stopping up now, up the Blades, up the ramble. Well, you can get you sent to bed, pal, because I'm wrapping up. But again, I don't know if I neglected to mention that. Obviously, I'm talking about how great the community is, not just the people in our community, but the people that I've met along the way of growing the channels. And I would always back you to take that chance, and don't be put off by, once you have, and you can dip your toe in with us. You can come on the streams with us and sort of see how it goes. There's loads at Mark Meldrew, one of them, who weren't sure about coming on for a little while, and there's other people as well. I don't mean to call people out individually, but once you come on and you dip your toe, firstly, it can be quite addictive, because it's a bit of a buzz being online for the first time. But once you've done it, you've overcome a real hurdle, and then it's, you sort of lose your inhibitions a little bit, and then you end up like Man Mountain, who just I'm live on the internet, and gets all these little gifs and things like that about him. So yeah, we're all just winging it. We're all just winging it. Imposter syndrome is real, but thank you to all the brilliant people that have played a part in our success, and it is our success. And we'll continue to try and put out good content across all three channels, and we'll try and include more and more people. So thank you to everybody. Hope you have a great rest of your day. Come and join me and Lee tonight at 7 o'clock for your countdown to kick off for Middlesbrough, and then jump straight over and support the boys on Ramble FC with Jordan Gaz watching Leeds v Forest. But for now, and I can say it because I've been talking about them enough, come on, you red and white wizards. Up the Blades.